It was July of 2024, and I had just come back from a tournament in Thailand. After losing two very close medal matches, I sat in front of my coach and I told her, "This is not working out, and I cannot do it anymore. I am not enjoying playing the game." You see, I started playing table tennis at the age of 10, and I landed upon this game after seeing a Polish para table tennis athlete competing in Olympics. And as a kid, growing up with a disability and trying to make sense of the world, that sudden representation felt refreshing, and that game felt enjoyable and playable. Soon, I was in Satara district's team and representing Satara in state championships. During all of this time, my family decided to shift to Pune in 2018, owing to better sports facilities and better physiotherapy in Pune, so that it might be more regulated and I would develop further. Uh, I started homeschooling, and with that, I started practicing both morning sessions and evening sessions, playing with able bodied players and trying to adapt to their fast paced game to the best of my abilities. While this move was, I now look back and I understand that it was very necessary. It was challenging. Firstly, because I hated Pune. I don't anymore, but I did back then. And secondly, the grades between 8th and 10th are formative years for any teenager. You are more closer to your peers than your family. And while all of that, I was growing up alone, stuck in a monotonous routine between training and physiotherapy. Despite all of this, despite all of my efforts, it was not until I shifted to para that I started winning. And well, what gave me an edge over all the other athletes there was the fact that I competed with able bodied players before. Uh, my attack was stronger. Everyone in the tournament felt so. And when I was actually writing the script, I looked back at the time when we were trying to get my forehand going. And I remember all the practice hours, all the multi ball sessions, all the people it took to develop the attack as it is today. And soon after traveling for tournaments began, I decided to chop off my hair because I couldn't tie it on my own. And I like this better now. Sorry. Sorry. Yeah. I like this better now. And while doing all of this, I also had to adapt to a more slower and more rally based game and more patience, the game that requires more patience that I did not have while playing para in Indian scenario. Because Indian women's para table tennis works at a more slower pace, something that I wasn't used to at all. Despite all of that, I kept winning. My career sort of boomed. At 17, I was donning the Indian jersey, winning medals. I won my first gold medal in my first ever international. That that was something very impressive, and it kept booming for more than 2 years. I was world number 13. I was Asia number 7. Everything was going great, but somewhere a part of me felt missing because I was playing a game that I wasn't used to. That the game that felt alienated or foreign to me because it was more defensive, something that I was not comfortable with. So I sat down in front of my coach and I told her that we have to change the approach a bit. And I have a very wonderful coach. She agreed to it. We had a long discussion and we were like, okay, we were ready to face the repercussions of whatever happened because I was aware of the doubts, of the judgments, of the talks, of the unsolicited advice that would go around because I had seen it before while when I chose to balance both table tennis and academics together. That was something that the para circuit had never seen. And I said that I cannot choose between two personalities that are my own. Academics and sports are both very dear to me, and I cannot choose between them. So I was used to the doubts and the judgments and the trials and efforts that it took. And I still wanted to take this risk because I believed in myself and because I believed in the larger support system that I had. And I did face repercussions. For 7 to 8 months, I absolutely tanked every tournament that I played. I mean, every tournament. Uh, and there was a lot of doubt. And it wasn't until National Championships of 2025 that I really saw that I could go somewhere with this approach. Because even after losing, what felt real was I was aligned with my game. I was happy that I was playing my game. 2025, it was the first national final that I played in 2 years. While I was doing well internationally, I was not doing well nationally. So that tournament changed it all. And I came back into the rankings. I finished with 4 medals in 12 days and 2 tournaments. Uh, so that is when I realized that I felt happy about my decision. And more than that, I felt relieved because I had believed in myself and I had come to this point that making a difficult choice and, well, where I was. So basically, when Tanushri said that, you have to tell, you have to talk about the invisible hours. And I thought that there are many things that I could talk about. I could talk about, the numerous hours I spent in practice, or how I balanced my sports and academics, how I traveled for tournaments between my boards and came back and wrote my papers and everything. But more than all, I could talk about the choices that have led me here and the choices that have shaped my journey and shaped my life in a way that when Tanushri said sports shapes your personality. So these are the choices that have shaped my personality going forward. That may be the choice to play table tennis, to shift to Pune, to transition to para, to adapt to the changing environment, or balancing sports and academics, and more of all, choosing a more holistic victory rather than a more visible one. So, from my experience, what I have realized is it is you that choose your definition of success, and and when you choose to align your personality with your efforts, your priorities, your aspirations, and more of all, your game, that is when magic happens.